When I say I love the holidays, Halloween is included. I got my cozy sweater on. It is cozy spooky season. Got my spooky mug. It's go time. I've been on a bit of a vintage kick, as you all have seen this year, like phasing in and out. That shall be continuing next year, but we're doing it for Halloween. I am going to be, if you could not tell by my witch or the title of this video, hold on, major hint, a witch. This is like the first time I've tried the hat on for real. She has a presence. I'm going to be a witch this year for Halloween, and to go with the vintage feel, I will be using a pattern, the Simplicity, I'll put the hashtag on the screen, View C. You can see it's a shirt dress. You can see it's kind of a shirt dress with an open skirt, and then there's buttons down the front. I'm going to do the contrasting collar and cuffs, but I am excited. And we only have a couple days to do this. Don't ask me why I am the way I am. Let me show you the fabric. So I will be using this pink quilter's cotton from Joann fabrics. I love it. It has stars and moons on it. And then I also picked up some black contrast fabric to do the other details. I also bought some things to decorate my hat with because we don't want to be a basic witch. We want to be a pastel witch. So I actually already made some samples of this, so you're not going to see me twirl, because after the fourth one, it was like, girl, it's a Halloween costume. You don't need to be. Your perfectionism is going to kill you on this one. So the dress itself, the assembly is actually pretty easy. It's just bodice, two bodice fronts, one bodice back, sleeves, cuffs, and then a pretty different way to do the collar. I think I finally have figured that out. Then the skirt is just gathered rectangles, and the skirt is lined, but the bodice is not. And the skirt's lined because it's supposed to have a big, you can't see what I'm doing, big billowy effect in the back, you know, for the drama. So I am going to start on the bodice. I have to cut everything out. It is Saturday afternoon. If my voice sounds crazy, it's because I went to the fair yesterday and I feel like I got hit with a ton of bricks. So, bit of a late start today, but let's get into it. So I have cut out all my pieces. They're in a pile right there on the ground. That's the bodice. And then I have the skirt and the lining for the skirt. It's not a perfect match, but it's close enough. This is the best I could do in store. So what I'm going to do now is put the skirt together, and I'll just tackle the bodice tomorrow. I may do the darts on the bodice tonight, TBD, because there's a lot of darts. But for the skirt, I'm just going to serge up all the side seams for the lining. There's just 3 pieces here. And all the side seams for the main fabric, and then attach them along the sides and the bottom. You're not supposed to use your serger, but I'm going to because it'll go a lot faster. So that's my plan. So I'm putting my skirt pieces together, and I don't think I understood how much fabric this was gonna be. Look at all of that. I had to pin it on the ironing board just so I had enough surface area. But I have pinned the whole thing for my skirt pieces, and then I just serged the seams. You can see right there. So I'm just gonna serge, that is the bottom. I'm gonna serge all along the bottom and the side seams. I was going to put in 3 rows of gathering stitches, but it just occurred to me how much fabric this actually is. I was like, I am not doing that. So I'm just gonna gather the skirt on my serger, and I think I'm gonna call it a night after that because I don't like to sew when I'm tired. I'm starting to get a little tired. So much fabric, oh my God. It's the next day. I have just eaten and I finally pinned all my darts. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 10 darts on this. if you plan to make this, just FYI. So I've pinned them all, I'm about to sew them and press them, and then we can actually start assembling the bodice. So let me get through that. So the bodice is essentially put together. The collar is awful. It's such a bee to deal with, but it's done. There's a couple mistakes in there. We don't need to look at that. You don't need to know about that. I finished my seams. Just if you do any type of big 4, big 5 patterns, they don't tell you to finish the seams in the interior. So if you're new to them, finish your seams. Little PSA. So that's done, and then I just, because I had the serger out, I just went and did the sleeves as well, and then, or I like sewed up the sleeves. I haven't pressed them yet. And then I put the basting stitches in as well. And then the facing, it was already interfaced in my prep stage, but I actually edge stitched it. I did not swap out my thread and just pressed the neck edge up. So I just have to attach the facing to the bodice and put the sleeves in. Apparently they want me to put the cuffs on the sleeves before I put the sleeves into the bodice, so I will be doing cuffs tonight. And then we had a situation with with my gathers on my skirt, so I have to redo them. The situation is that I did my tension too tight and they're popping, so I need to just redo them basically. And I'm still gonna do it on the serger because that's way too much fabric to gather. Now, if you want to do that, you do you. I just would not be doing it. Let me finish this up. And I'm gonna try it on because I haven't done it yet. And this is the first time I've ever made a collar like this, so I want to see what it looks like. I have finished up the bodice for the most part. The sleeves are in, as you all saw me doing. They're not perfect. I gotta press them again, but they'll do. That sleeve is definitely better than that sleeve. That sleeve was giving me trouble. I still need to do hand sewing on the cuffs and on the collar. And then I think I'm gonna press this so the black is inward more. I pressed it so it was outward before. But this is what we're looking like right now. And I really like it. And then the skirt, so I don't know if I said what the issue was. So I did my tension too tight and then the stitches started popping. So I just need to rip this out. Well, first I need to pin it so that the fabric doesn't fall apart. And then I need to rip these out and just do it again with a looser tension. That took an hour, but it is now gathered down to the length that it needs to be. So I'm just gonna pin it to the bodice and sew it, and then I can try it on. The skirt is on. I love it. Okay, here are finishy things I still need to do. I need to press this better. I need to add the buttons, obviously. Do all my slip stitching for here, and then I also need to slip stitch the facing and the cuffs. And okay, so I'm going to serge the fabric on the inside just to clean that up. I was going to put bias tape on it, but I cannot be bothered. So I'm going to serge it. And then I did differently than the instructions. I could not get this gathered down to like 1 inch or less, and one of my threads popped. So this is not supposed to be all the way to the end. It's actually supposed to be to like 1/2 inch, which is fine. And then I just need to like flip this up and then slip stitch it in place. And I also need to serge the armholes. You can't see that. I need to put the buttons on, do all my hand sewing, serge, and add a waist stay to help support the weight of the skirt. But the dress is basically done, and I think I'm gonna do all that off camera. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I want to show you how I make my hat. So the next thing you'll see is me making my hat. But I'm gonna take a break right now, and we'll come back to it.
I just wanted to document this. So I'm doing my slip stitching on the facings and I'm almost done. But then also, this is what I look like currently. Because I bought a headlamp so I can like get all up in there because it was really hard for me. Hold on. It was really hard for me to do, I think it was me seam ripping black on black fabric on black thread, and I was like, you know what? This can't be the life. It was hard for me to see. This best $13 I've ever spent. Highly recommend. But I was like, if anyone walked in, this is a sight to see. I'm getting my hand sewing done.
All right, let's wrap it up. So as you can see, I did not decorate my hat because my hat has a bit more prominence than I realized it did. And I felt with the overall look, decorating the hat wasn't necessary. But if I were to wear the hat on its own, which I might be doing on actual Halloween, because Halloween's tomorrow, I may decorate it. I love the dress. I think it came out so cool. I think it was my first time making a shirt dress. Actually my second time, but first time in this style. And I learned a lot. Definitely, it was an easy pattern, but not the most beginner friendly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just because if you've never fit a shirt dress before, like it's not the easiest thing to do. I ended up sizing down and that made things a lot easier. I love the skirt. I will say this was a test to see if I still don't like gathered skirts, and the answer is yes. I do not like them. It needs a belt because I feel like it adds a lot of bulk to my waist and I don't love that. I wore a fanny pack when I wore this out. I went to a trunk or treat on Saturday with the little people in my life. I'll pop in a picture. And they loved the costume. They were like, oh my gosh. But I don't know if I'm actually gonna wear this on Halloween because we're actually experiencing a freeze right now. So I'm really happy. I planned to wear it on the trunk or treat, but I'm really happy I got to wear it. I wish the skirt had pockets. That's the only mod I would make to it. But it's actually quite warm, not gonna lie. And if you were thinking about making this and you were like, oh, I'm not gonna make the pants. As you can see, the skirt does open as I walk and move, so you definitely need to wear something underneath it. I just wore leggings. You could make the pants that come with it, up to you. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? So I think for my very first time sewing my own Halloween costume, because I didn't know how to sew up until now, I think it's a pretty good success. I'm very pleased with it and I hope you like it as well. If you like this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you've made it this far. I don't know if there's gonna be a video next week. We'll see. I don't know though. Only because my family came to visit this weekend. Like I said, we went to a trunk or treat, and so I took a sewing break, so I didn't work on anything. Also why this video is coming out the day before Halloween, but we'll see. But just don't plan on seeing a video next week, and if you get one, it's a surprise. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Bye.